Hi everyone, my name is Vidal Mendez. I'm your student assistant for engagement here for the Georgia Tech MSA program, and welcome to episode 4 of Georgia Tech Alumni Spotlight Series. Today I'm joined here with Anna Riehle.
Hi.
And Anna, if you could tell us a little bit more about you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I live here in Washington, D.C., lived here my whole life, live with my dog, Nellie, and I grew up playing music, so I play violin and viola.
It's awesome, it's really cool. All right, and to jumpstart our first interview question, can you tell us where you're based now, what your current role is at Capital One, what it looks like, and how does data play into your daily work as a principal data analyst? And could you walk us through a daily life?
Yeah, absolutely. So I live here in Washington, D.C., and I work at Capital One's headquarters in McLean. And my work is hybrid, so I spend about 2 to 3 days a week working in McLean, 2 to 3 days a week working here at home. And I my work is very cross-functional. I actually wind up working with people in a lot of the roles that MSA graduates wind up going into. So data and software engineers, data scientists, product managers, as well as business analysts and project and process managers. And I've had the privilege while I've been at Capital One working on some really leading projects in the ATM debit space. My role in those has generally been around building and maintaining reports and dashboards, helping to stand up data infrastructure for modeling and analysis. And we've been working on moving from batch to streaming data, so validating new data sources and incorporating them into our existing reporting suites.
That's awesome. It's really interesting. Right. Now that we know a little bit more about your day in the life as a principal data analyst, let's kind of pivot. You've worked across performing arts, the federal government, and now financial services. What do you enjoy mostly about working with data, and how has your perspective evolved across these different industries?
Sure, absolutely. So I love how data can help people make better informed decisions that fuel experiences that delight customers while still making good business sense. And my career thus far has been about encouraging and supporting organizations' abilities to do this. Um, Yet the organizations that I've worked for have been at very different stages in their analytical journeys. So at Imagination Stage, which was the theater where I started my career, I was the first line of defense for all staff questions related to data and IT, and the only person working in both spaces. And a lot of staff decision making was still based solely in human intuition. My data manager and I had to work hard to convince our coworkers of the value of analytics. But that's actually what got me into the MS in Analytics program, was recognizing that value and wanting to explore it further. The I did my internship at the US Postal Service, and the team I was on at the Postal Service recognized the importance of analytics and was starting to incorporate it into their daily processes and decision making. And while there, I shifted from working with thousands or tens of thousands of records, like I had been at Imagination Stage and in the MS and Analytics program, to starting to work with a few million records at a time. And I learned the importance of loading data incrementally to avoid latency issues. And then at Capital One, where I work now, data is part of everything we do. A lot of first order decisioning is automated through machine learning models, which are then monitored for continued efficacy, drift, or any abnormalities. There's a big focus on ensuring that these models remain readily interpretable. And whether in SQL or in Python, I regularly write code to handle data sets with hundreds of millions or even billions of records. And we use cloud-based platforms such as Snowflake and AWS that are built for handling these large amounts of data.
That's awesome how like data can be effective in all these different industries and how it ties back into your role right now as a principal data analyst.
Definitely.
And just to shift gears a little bit, get a little bit more emotional, thinking back at your time in the MSA program, what's one memory that really stuck with you?
Definitely. So my I completed the MS in Analytics program over 3 years instead of just the one. I spent my first year at Georgia Tech entirely in the MS in Analytics program, then joined the dual degree program, spent my second year mostly in the MBA program, and my final year was actually during COVID, and I spent it studying remotely from here in DC. And a core memory from my first year in the MSA program is studying in one of the campus buildings. I think it was Clough, with a classmate and dear friend Shannon Kehoe, and we could be working on assignments for different classes, doing completely different things, but we really enjoyed spending time together and found that we each focused better when we were studying together. So that's how we spent a lot of our weekends would be, in Clough working in parallel, basically. And by the time I started my second year at Georgia Tech, the Coda building was open, and MS and Analytics students could be found studying and working together there. And especially as a non-traditional student, I very much appreciated the MSA's highly collaborative culture and often looked to my peers both for motivation and to help me better understand what we were learning.
I could definitely understand like how community plays into that and helping you like be motivated. Even for me as an undergrad student, I totally get that all the time.
Yeah, that's the community in both the MS in Analytics and the MBA programs. One of my favorite parts of being at Georgia Tech.
It's awesome. On to our fourth question. You describe yourself as a curious learner. What's one skill or mindset from the MSA program that's really fueled that curiosity and that's helped you grow specifically within your career?
So CSE 6242, Data and Visual Analytics, is a required course in the MS and Analytics program. And that course gave me the confidence to hit the ground running with new tools and technologies in a way that has been invaluable to my career. The course covers a lot of material, looking at general programming, data visualization, big data, and machine learning in several programming languages: Python, SQL, JavaScript, and Java, all in a single semester. And it's given me the confidence to learn and leverage a variety of platforms, libraries, modules, and frameworks, both internal and external, that I've needed for my role at Capital One.
That's awesome. I'm glad that the MSA program still like has an impact to your day-to-day work. On to our fourth question. You describe yourself as a curious learner. What's one skill or mindset from the MSA program that's really fueled that curiosity and that's helped you grow specifically within your career?
So CSE 6242, Data and Visual Analytics, is a required course in the MS and Analytics program. And that course gave me the confidence to hit the ground running with new tools and technologies in a way that has been invaluable to my career.
Alrighty. Well, that is all our questions we have today for Anna. Really, we're joined here with her dog. Alrighty.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us on our episode 4 of GT MSA Alumni Spotlight. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys.
Bye, thank you.